Today we rank the worst mall Santa photos.
Let's talk about that. Good mythical morning.
Now, I'm not a big fan of mall Santas. Not the real Santa, but mall Santas, because they're all imposters. And here's how I know. When I was a kid, I waited for 3 hours in line at the Crabtree Valley Mall, and when I finally got up there on his lap, I said, Santa, I want a Game Boy. And you know what I ended up getting in my stocking? One of those underwater mazes where you try to get the ball to go from one side to the other.
Those are cool.
That's not a Game Boy. It's a Game Boy, but it's not a Game Boy, Santa. Imposter Santa.
Imposter Santas are the worst. But then there are the worst of the worst mall Santas in photo form, and we're gonna rank those today. Let's get to it. Oh no. Worst mall Santa photos ever. Okay, here's how this is gonna work. In order for us to make an impartial, open-minded decision, we have asked members of the Mythical crew to present their photo for worst mall Santa photo ever. And then we are gonna rank them from 1 to 5, 1 being the worst mall Santa photo ever, because it matters.
Yes, it does. Let's get started with Chase. What do we got here, Chase?
Good gosh.
This is the worst mall Santa photo ever. It's not only got a really creepy Santa, but also like a Terminator bunny thing with mustache and stain on its, like that's not a clean bunny suit.
It has stain.
Yeah, stain.
Bunny had stain.
Mirrors the beard stain. There's a weird stain on that. And then I don't know what the other dude is. He's like a tramp kind of clown maybe, but
Rudolph
also,
the Red-Nosed Clown.
I think
and he's a firefighter?
I think he's a nutcracker.
He is a nutcracker.
I think he is the nutcracker, and this guy looks like he might actually crack nuts. I don't know. There's a lot going on in this photo.
This is the scariest photo I've ever seen, Christmas or not.
Exactly.
But I will say, that is one top shelf unibrow.
It is.
I mean, it literally is a top shelf.
No breakage in it. And you can see, I think the nutcracker is Santa's son. I think this is a family team thing, because and this is what he's got to look forward to later in life, and you can see the look on his face that he knows that that's what's going to happen one day when it joins.
Yeah, he's very worried.
My future is not bright.
But I will say that this could be the real Santa, because that beard has seen some actual weather. You know, this is what happens when you're flying across the earth all in one night,
either that
going
or,
through dust storms and climate changes and rain. This is what happens.
Either that or you've dipped your beard in the ocean forever.
Anyway, okay, this is not a situation I would want to find myself in, but let's see what else we got. We're gonna just temporarily just move this to number 1. And up next, Lizzie.
Yeah. This is the worst mall Santa, because the look of defeat in his eyes is so pure. It's like you can just see to his soul, and he regrets everything, including these children that rolled up in a shopping cart. Also, when I first looked at it, I thought it was like a Great Depression photo, like a Dust Bowl situation, but I'd like to direct your attention to the sign that says 2010 in the upper left.
This is pretty recent.
This is 6 years ago. I have a lot of questions, including why are they in a shopping cart? Like, did the mother think this was some sort of safe haven dump situation?
Actually, I think this is... When I see this, I think, have I not seen this before? Why isn't this done more often? Because you've got clearly a kid who's terrified.
Yeah.
So why not just roll them up in a cage that they can't escape right in front of Santa?
I mean,
Absolutely.
I put my kids in that cage to go shopping whenever I have to do that.
And cage is the proper term.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a rolling
Kids, get in the cage so you don't reach out for stuff that I don't want you to buy or to be situated in front of a Santa.
Right.
My question is, what did Santa do to the kid on the left?
Yeah, he's comatose. Like, that kid is unconscious.
Well, let me make an observation. I think Santa might have a sedative-laced glove that he has broken out, because it is
on his
clearly
back.
making contact with that child, and that child has responded appropriately.
And that's why his sister's freaking out, because Santa's magic touch killed my brother.
No, it didn't kill him.
Well,
He's just out for a little bit.
You're
just like to
getting
say,
very sleepy.
You're talking about a magic touch Santa that just knocks kids unconscious, so that's the worst. Like, you're not getting worse than that. That's terrifying.
And then he just pushes the cart slowly into his cave.
Okay, all right.
This is not the feeling I want at Christmas time.
All right, Alex, what do we got here?
Oh, goodness.
This isn't going to help you, Link. This is the last known photo ever taken of these children. You see their eyes. Those are what I like to call help me eyes. without a doubt, have been abducted. Pretty
Now-
dead eyes on Santa Claus there, too.
I think
Yeah, pretty.
that is a mask, I believe.
Sure. If you want to believe that, Link, you can.
Please tell me that's a mask.
No, it's a mask.
Well, you think these look like help me eyes, but I can barely look at this photo, and I'm just surprised at how calm the children are.
They're definitely sedated, without a doubt. I mean, that girl's sniffing something there.
No,
Probably.
she's sniffing her flower in order to mask the smell of burnt flesh, which is
Yeah.
definitely what Santa's mask is made of.
Right.
Yeah, he's got a melty thing kind of going on there.
Oh my gosh.
It does raise the question, though. I mean, is it possible that this man's regular face with a beard is worse than this? Because why would you make the decision to wear the mask?
I don't know. I think it's old. You know, it's an older people's mask game back in the day was way scarier.
Okay.
I've noticed. Like
listen-
1920 masks are terrifying stuff.
You cannot force this. If you don't have Santa face, then don't be Santa. I
Right.
mean, I think it's that simple.
This is a very clear example of that. Okay, I'm creeped out.
You should be.
All right, next up we got Micah.
And you know what? I'm taking these down. So this is arbitrary.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Let's not do
Well,
a pre-ranking.
We'll wait to the end for that. All right, Micah, what do we got?
Okay, so while we're in the realm of Santas who hide their faces, I call this one Phantom of the Opera. I think, first off, you touched on this a little bit, but you should never trust a Santa if you can't see his face. I think that's...
I can
like, rule
definitely
number
not
one.
see
Yeah,
his face.
no face there.
And I definitely do not trust him.
Yeah, and the kid doesn't either. You can tell he's like giving eyes to his mom, like, please get me off this guy's lap.
Well, he is the first kid who has the perfect response to the situation.
He's like,
I mean, how hard is it to put on a beard? I mean, I didn't think you had to put instructions on where the mustache goes on a beard.
I would argue
I
that-
think this is a coping mechanism.
yeah, I
I
think
mean,
it's
yeah,
intentional.
exactly.
He does not want to be
This
there.
Santa this is like year 7 of this. And every year he's just slowly retreated more into, and now it's just can barely see the world. I mean, this guy's a genius, actually. He's only got one rule. Do not stick your hand in Santa's hole. That is the only rule you have to follow with this guy.
Actually, you know what? I don't think there's a Santa in there at all. I think this kid is posing with a pile of Santa costume.
Well, that's cheaper. You don't have to pay anybody.
There's no flesh. That stuff right there is just the lining of the beard.
I had a few theories. One was that it was John Hamm, or like a famous person, probably John Hamm.
Yeah, okay.
Another, it could be a known serial killer. But I kind of agree with you, Link, that it's not a person. Like, I think that maybe it's like a pillowcase full of hamburger meat or something, or maybe it's just like
A pile of Santa costumes.
stuffed with more Santa costumes. Yeah,
Yes.
you never know what could be in there.
It's a great idea. All right, and Stevie. Goodness gracious.
All right, guys, you've seen a lot of Santas today, but have you seen Santas with purple eyeshadow? Now you have.
Now I have.
Gosh.
I also feel like this is one of the only photos in which the kids are equally as creepy as the Santa, because you can see they're holding handcuffs as their gifts, and they are pretty excited about it, except for the kid that did not get handcuffs, whose eyes read, "I wanted handcuffs."
Yeah, she definitely did.
I mean, I think it's very clear based on the eyeshadow game here that Santa gave them those handcuffs. They didn't ask for them. He's just doling them out.
Yeah.
Or he's like speaking to the parent behind the camera, like, "Why did you frame me giving them these handcuffs?" His eyes say, like, "Help" a little bit.
Well,
not as much as the kids in the vintage photo.
I will
though.
say one thing, just in defense of this Santa. It is very easy to get carried away with those smoky eye tutorials on YouTube. I mean, that has happened to me one too many times. But this looks like it came at a time before smoky eye tutorials on YouTube, so this is just something that the Santa came up with.
Well, hold on. Let me play devil's advocate.
Please do.
I think that if you took away the Santa costume but left the eyeshadow, this guy might look normal, or at least cool.
I don't
Confused by
understand the
that
point.
observation.
Are you saying this is like a guy that might have like permanent eyeshadow tattoos?
Yeah, like he could just, that could be tattooed on
And this
there.
is just when he plays Santa. This is just part of the package.
Picture him without the beard, and you're like, oh, normal guy with very enunciated eyebrows.
It doesn't
and
make me feel
eyeshadow.
any better. It doesn't make me feel any
Okay,
better.
I tried. I tried to take up for you, dude. It didn't work. And then if you look, you see you got all these other kids back here waiting to come out. They're
Oh no, you assume they're waiting. I think they've already been taken to Santa's cabin. I think they were.
the door
there
is
before.
slowly closing on them.
That's how it works. You're given the handcuffs and then you're escorted into the cabin.
Yeah, this is, man. Oh, I didn't know it was going to get this creepy. Oh, let's get this over with. Rank them. All right, so let's go in reverse. All right, so between Alex's and Lizzie's, I think we got to start off this way.
Yeah, because I mean, I
don't
feel
like
like
Grapes
this
of
one
Wrath
is
Santa up
this is
farther?
something you see every day with Sans the cart, and this is like I don't think it was creepy for its time. It's super creepy now, but in its time it was just kind of like another guy with a Santa mask made of human flesh.
And Micah's not actually a Santa under there is pretty bad.
I like the way
but
this is going.
so then I think I don't know. I'm just gonna food for thought here and put Stevie's.
Yes.
But then I don't know. Between Chase's and Stevie's,
Let's see how this feels.
I would never sit in this Santa's lap.
But I would want to be in a room with these people.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? It's like I feel like if I maintain a 5-foot distance from this Santa, I'm okay. But if I get into the same I'm in like a 15-foot radius with this group, any one of them could kill me.
Pick it up and then slide it. Ladies and gentlemen, here you have it, the top 5 worst mall Santa photos ever. Good work, Mythical team. And thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing.
You know what time it is.
Hello, it's Santa Claus here in Ludlow, Massachusetts, and I say it's time to spin the wheel of Gifticality. Oh, 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 oh.
You can go over to creepysantaphotos.com or awkwardfamilyphotos.com to see some of these photos that we used and a whole lot more. Thank you for that.
Click through to Good Mythical More. We're going to analyze Jen's photo album over the years. She's taken a photo with Santa every single year of her life.
Gifticality. That means we're giving $1,000 to St. Jude Children's Hospital to help them in their fight against childhood cancer and other life-threatening diseases.
Go to stjude.org/give thanks to join us in donating. Thank you for being your mythical best.
Click on the left to watch our show after the show, Good Mythical More.
Click on the right to watch another episode of Good Mythical Morning.
And click the circular channel icon to subscribe.
Thanks for being your mythical best.